Hello there, and welcome back to the Ottomans. It's been a little while, or it hasn't really. Been a day off. I'm currently having some trouble with my computer. It turned itself off during the upload, and the internet is, of course, not working as good as I'd like it to. So, unfortunately, this will probably be a day late. Hopefully not. We'll see how it turns out. So, the current situation is that I'm having some trouble with my vassals, and well, more specifically, their vassal cores. They are gone. Poof. So I figured out what the reason is for this, and the reason is simply that the timer, when you release release a nation as a vassal, or take a province and then release them as a vassal, the timer kind of bugs out, and as a result, the cores simply disappear. And unfortunately, that is what has happened. So if I really want to use this kind of method, I'll have to first release the countries and then forcefully vassalize them, which is cheaper, but of course will take a lot more micromanagement and timing to be more precise. So, what will we be doing today? We'll probably aim at getting our, well, these guys next, and then we'll go after, I guess, England. I believe they are on the top of the hit list, if I'm not completely mistaken. I might very well be. I believe it's not England, it's Austria then. So Austria's at the top of my hit list, and we'll be going off them. I'm pretty sure I actually want to try and vassalize Venice as well. I don't think I can though. 11, 9, 8, and 6, kind of a little bit too much. I might take Istria for myself, or due to the fact that it isn't in the Holy Roman Empire, I'll probably just take it and sell it to Styria here. But let's just get straight to it. We'll be aiming to take back all of these vassal territories. I'm a little bit surprised these things haven't actually turned to sellers just yet. Take a little bit quick look here. They were, well, they have been for about 2 years, almost a decade now. These things have been occupied, as can see here. Let's see here. Yeah, it was occupied by rebels and zealots. So almost a decade for both of these. So we'll simply wait a little bit longer and then see what happens. But for now, we'll get our troops back to Europe, and then we'll back to southeastern Europe, and then we'll be going after the one province minus that we released. We'll see how it goes. There we go. It has begun. We have some more Portuguese nationalists here. I guess I'll just kill them because it'll probably take a year or two to actually get these things under control. So what we'll do here is start with Epirus, then simply work our way upwards. We'll probably take Maria last, since I do need ship access to actually get to that thing. Or that province is probably the right word, not a thing. It's most certainly not a thing. It's something that I want. The only thing that's kind of bad with this method is that I lose quite a bit of my my piety by doing this, because of the simple fact that it gets decreased by attacking fellow, well, members of Fate. So it's not really the best way of solving this issue, but it's probably the best way I have right now. So we'll go for this. Worst case scenario here, I'll actually get a coalition simply out of this. So I'm a little bit unsure how this will actually work out in the end. But hopefully we'll be able to at least bypass a coalition or worse. We'll see how it turns out. Also sacrifice the mana simply to get rid of that revolt. But nothing we really could do with that. But for now we should be able to take all these things, or all these provinces, without having to sacrifice too much. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we'll just get straight to it, completely finish this up, and once I have, I'll get back to you. It's simply a long procedure because there is a lot of sieging going on here. So that is basically the only thing that would be troublesome in this situation. But for now, I think I have almost clear war on everyone. I believe there's 2 missing. In this case, Maria and Izmir. So we're almost done, almost ready to just allow the sieges to finish up here, and then we will be declaring war on Austria. We'll see how it goes. But now I'm a little bit skeptical if Styria will actually lose. No, it seems that Styria will keep their remaining cores. So that's at least a very positive thing to notice. But as you might imagine, I'm also pretty sure that we won't actually be able to, or I won't actually be able to pull off the challenge that I imposed to myself, managing to take Europe in before the 1600s. I'll probably need 50 extra years or something along those lines, probably even more. So I don't know. We'll see if I can pull this off. I have honestly no idea. But I do at least hope I can. Especially if I get rid of the Holy Roman Empire and France, then I should be able to, because of the fact that the only big threat then will be Denmark. So if I manage to get friendly with them, ally them, I should be perfectly fine. But we'll have to see how that turns out, if it's actually possible or not. It probably isn't, but depending on how big I manage to grow now in the next 30 years, we'll have to see how it turns out. I will have to fight Denmark eventually, but for now I simply want to leave them alone. We'll see if that works out to my advantage or not, and I kind of am believing that it probably won't be an advantage for me. As you can see, I have built a secondary navy for the sole purpose of transporting troops, and apparently I actually got the right number for once. That is quite good. But yeah, we are doing pretty well here. I will of course declare war on one province minor over here. That's probably towards the end of the war that we will be fighting with Austria. So, for the time being, we'll just get troops into position. Who are their allies? Are there anyone dangerous here? Well, Poland is potentially dangerous, but they are having revolt issues, so it should be fine. As long as we kill off this Austrian stack, everything should work out to advantage. They have lost the Netherlands, so that is of course great. I do have Calais or Burgundy here as a vassal now, but as you can see, even they did lose all of their cores, except for Luxembourg for some weird reason. So I have no idea how that system works. It probably is if you release someone as a vassal, they lose most of their cores, but if you release someone as a how should I put this? If you release someone as a vassal, then they lose all of the cores, but if you forcefully release a country, they keep everything. I have no idea how I'd actually try and make that work, but it's an interesting mechanic if it actually is supposed to work that way. We'll actually go ahead here and reform the army, because I'm pretty sure that'll bring me up to the next level military attack, the Trenians, level 13. We also get artillery fire plus 0.4 and artillery shock 0.1. I can now use chambered demi cannon, and regimental camps can be built. Next one will be kind of more interesting, infantry fire plus 0.5, along with increasing combat width. That should definitely help out my army a little bit, make it stronger. Austria is also level 13, so we need to kind of try and at least keep ourselves on the same level as they, if not even higher. But as you see, the sieges are coming on nicely. I have no idea if I'll actually believe these guys here, probably won't. I should probably also fetch that last group of soldiers, so I'll just do that. And then we are basically set for our war against Austria. Should be a fairly interesting thing, I think. So, let's just get ourselves ready and see what happens. I'll be right back. Something is happening here that doesn't make really much sense, no matter how you look at it. The Ferraran troops here they're actually sieging the Sunny Zealots, and why they're doing that, I have no idea. Do I want them to do that? Certainly not. But even so, my vassals are now re-sieging the lands of my enemy. The only reason I'd see they do that is because they are Catholic themselves, but even so, it's kind of a silly reason. But apparently I got set out of that, so apparently by having these guys siege Hawkiee, I got, well, one province back. Positive it now is that I can sell Salento because this is a core, and I want it back. Apparently I'm at war with... No, they are at war with someone. Who are they at war with? They're actually at war with Siena. So, that is fairly okay by my standards. But for now, we'll wait for these two sieges to finish. It actually took far longer than I anticipated. So I guess we'll just allow the war to start even though we don't have all troops here yet. So that could get interesting. Austria is at war with Siena. So I think there's a lot of troops down here. We'll figure that out in fairly quickly. So I'm a little bit unsure here how the Austrian troops will actually, or how many they will be, but it should be a fairly easy war even so. We'll see how it turns out. I'll just get troops in position and then we'll declare war. Guess we are ready here. We'll declare war on Austria, a holy war. Shows superiority. Poland, Brittany, Aachen, Lorraine, Mainz, the Palatinate in Naples. So I can actually get two birds here with one stone, I think. By actually taking Lucania and Calabria as well from this war. And I probably will. Probably even go for Naxos as well. A little bit unsure. Only negative thing here is that Corfu, the coring of this thing will stop. But that should also be fine. So we'll go straight out here, declare war on Austria, the Holy Roman Empire, see if we can screw them over. we should be able to, and by screwing them over, we should also be able to make things a little bit more interesting on the frontiers here. I'm pretty sure also that I want to place 10k units in each province as a safety measure. I do have a 30,000 man unit here due to the fact I had to split up or 210 units due to this. We also have the Neapolitan troops here. So the full list, everyone actually joined in. I think I can white peace with Poland fairly quickly, so that shouldn't actually be anything to worry about. But for now, we'll aim at destroying the Austrian troops, and once we have destroyed their and the Neapolitan troops, we'll be just be aiming at sieging. And the goal of this war is simply to grow Styria, I think. So I don't know if I'll just take Naxos from Naples, if I actually take anything at all. I probably will take something, but probably not much, since it will be fairly expensive to do so. It seems that Guyana has some trouble here with rebels of their own, so I should probably focus on that. What we will probably also do while we're at it is go ahead here, show superiority, forcefully vassalize Northumberland. I have no idea if anyone will actually hate me for that, but we need to do that before the war against England next time anyway. And next war against England, I can actually siege all their holdings, I think. So we'll do this as well. They don't actually have any allies. Should be a fairly easy war. So all in all here, what we're actually doing is just preparing for completely crushing France, completely crushing the Holy Roman Empire. And it took longer than anticipated, but it's not really something I can just forcefully or hurry up with, unfortunately. If I could, things would have been looking a lot better, but unfortunately they are. Let me see what I can do. So, what we will be doing is simply trying to fight this war without too much fuss. And right now those guys are definitely a fuss. We'll join up with those guys, see if that helps. They are still marching on them, so that is quite good. We'll join up the rest of the troops here pretty soon, I think. I guess I should actually not abandon siege, but move troops to back them up, as it were. So we'll do that, and we'll do that, and that should actually be a victory here, I think. Potentially not now. They actually added quite a bit of troops, so at least we won the battle down here in Salento, and I have no idea where these guys will actually run. But I don't need this many troops here. We'll move 15,000 up to up here, and I'll allow these guys to simply start sieging Lucania and over there. So we're starting the siege of the Neapolitan provinces. We do have the benefit of having the Ferraran troops in Achaia, and we'll also siege this one as soon as the opportunity arises. So for now, we should be able to take that or send these 20k troops crying home. That one is kind of a problematic thing to deal with. So I think I definitely need to have more troops in up in this area. But how are the odds in our favor? They are fairly good. We have twice the amount of cannon, about the same amount of horses, and 20,000 extra footmen. So we should be able to pull this one out of the hat. The problem here right now is that I am having far too little troops here, so we might actually have to break up some sieges just to make sure that we win this battle. And apparently that is exactly what I will have to do. Of course, if we win the battle, then reinstating the sieges won't really be that much of a troublesome thing to do. And also, if I can now force a retreat where they don't run too far, I'll of course also be in the driver's seat. I have no idea. There's 5,000 Austrians there, of course, 9,000 actually. So we'll go ahead here, hunt them down, send them flying back to Mama, and let's see here. Let's split these guys up so they actually have adequate protection. I think they will grow back or refresh themselves, so that shouldn't actually be too much of a problem. But for now, we'll allow the sieges to continue like this. We'll place 10,000 troops in Friuli, and I might consider drawing or pulling these guys a little line further back. We'll at least get these 10 Wow, I'm really tripping over my words here. We'll at least get these 10k men back to the battlefield in Austria pretty soon. But for now, we are doing fairly well, I think. We are causing damage to the troops. They have run home, which gives us a little bit of a window here where we can actually start increasing or causing some more damage. If I remember correctly, I wanted to vassalize these guys. But as you can see here, Northumberland, England, Denmark, Austria, this could potentially actually be reason enough to set up a coalition, but we'll take a chance there and see how it turns out. So I apparently end up in a war against England, Denmark, and Hesse. So, the big question now is, should I continue the war and see what happens? How many troops do these guys have? They have 67,000. Considering that I also have the Austrian war to deal with right now, I think we'll just do this. We'll concede defeat, lose those 10 prestige, and unfortunately get the truce timer back up. But that should also be kind of fine in this instant. I'm really tempted to actually go for a bullet war against Minster, although I wouldn't have any good reason for it. So I would take that hit to stability, but that would also allow me to take Ireland fairly easily and in a good manner, I guess I should say. So as you can see, England actually entered that military coalition against us. I'm a little bit unsure if there's anyone else, but if it's just England, then we have nothing to worry about. This, however, is kind of more worrisome. So we'll pull our troops back and see who they attack. I guess I should place these guys in Canton just so I have a little bit more flexibility in where I want those guys to move to protect. But for now, it seems like things are going our way. This is kind of annoying. These guys started the siege when? So I can probably check that in the province history. So shall we see here? Apparently I can't. But we have laid siege to that one since the war began. So 3 years and it still hasn't fallen. That is kind of impressive. But unfortunately we're out of time. Hopefully we get done with Austria next time. And hopefully I won't blabber as much. As you can see, they're apparently stuck in the middle of France. So that is good. But we'll see what we can pull out of the hat next time. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like. And I'll see you around next time. Bye.